Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. Welcome to 50 Strong's Employer Connect featuring Wells Fargo. My name is Chantel. I help run some of the operations at 50 Strong, and with me is Candy Tillman. We'll definitely have time to say hi to her in just a second, but thank you for being here. We have an awesome lineup with some incredible people at Wells Fargo. They're really excited to talk to you about some cool opportunities today. So thank you for being here. We are going to drop a poll as well, because we just want to know where you're coming from. Are you a student veteran? I forgot to put this in the chat, but if you're doing the MRF this weekend, let us know in the chat too. All right, so today we have Wells Fargo, and then wanted to give you a heads up that next week we have a large Employer Connect event on May 30th. We have over 25 different employers. We'll drop the links in the chat for you to RSVP for that. So, and Wells Fargo will be there, of course. All right, before we introduce the Wells Fargo team, there's a couple of things that I wanted to touch base on. One, whether you got out 6 months ago or 5 years ago, or you're in the process of getting out right now, it's very challenging, right? That's an understatement, navigating civilian employment post-military. And so the whole point of any Employer Connect event, and then meeting with the team at Wells Fargo today, is just to establish meaningful relationships and truly gain industry exposure, right? Learn about different pathways and opportunities there. You're going to find out that there's roles that you probably did not even think about, that you find very attractive. So definitely take advantage of all the relationships that you develop here today. All right, again, a few tools that I'd like to talk about before we introduce the Wells Fargo team. So we have our key employment pathways page, which is actually a list of all of 50 Strong's employer participants pathways. It's like a really high level overview, gives you an understanding of, is there an intake form, a career URL, maybe critical locations that they're looking for. That's always a really good way to do your research before coming to any 50 Strong event. And then we have our opportunity marketplace, which we're really excited about. So this has not only skill bridge opportunities that you can filter at city and state level, but also student veteran opportunities that you can filter at city and state level. And we are developing and working on some really cool things coming soon, such as apprenticeships. And I'll give Candy a moment to talk about that here in a second. For now, you can check out our website on our apprenticeship listings to see about apprenticeship opportunities that might be a really good fit for you. Industry really does value, your skills, regardless if that means that you have a degree or not. So there's really cool apprenticeship opportunities we would like you to take a look at. Lastly, we're going to be moving in and out of breakout rooms after the Wells Fargo presentation, right? So we want to make sure that you have Zoom 5.3.0 or later, just to make sure that you have the ability to self-navigate. If you're not sure what version that you have time to check it, but also we're going to be here in the main room the whole time, and we can help move you if necessary. All right, so there's going to be a few different breakout rooms. We have the Homefront Hiring Our Heroes program for military spouses. There's also going to be the Veteran Employment Transition program, Boots to Banking, and then also the Military Apprentice program. It's kind of a mouthful. Corporate Fellowship, Skill Bridge Opportunities is third. And then we have Hot Job Engagements, specifically the Business Execution Role family. And then lastly, we have University Programs. The Wells Fargo team is going to go through all of this before we open the breakout rooms. But before we pass it on to the Wells Fargo team, I just wanted to pass it to Candy to see if she had any words to say before we move forward.
Hey, everybody. We are so happy that you are here. I'm Candy Tillman. I run the day-to-day for 50 Strong. Thank you, Chantel and Aaron, for all of the hard work that they're doing behind the scenes every day. We have a special guest. This is my son, Gray. He is actually admitting folks into the meeting now. My husband, Kevin, is here. We're so happy that you all have joined us. I do not want to ever stand between you and employers that are eager to share their pathways with you. But I want to share one thing before I hand it over. Don't tell anybody else I said this. of all the employers we work with, the Wells Fargo team, y'all, we're talking about a 30-person plus team dedicated to military efforts. This is huge. And so this team is the team, if you are thinking about employment at Wells Fargo, this team is the team that will be the best internal referral, the best internal advocate. They're pulling for you, and we're so grateful the hard work of this team every single day. Before I turn it back over, Kevin, do you want to just say a quick hello?
Yes, I'll make it brief. Great to see you guys. Lovely having Wells Fargo on, and I'm excited that everybody's just coming to get the quickest way to understand what's going on and to get a job is talking to employers. So I'm just excited that Wells Fargo is here to provide that opportunity, because it's a tough slog if you just try to sit in your house and put your resume together and blast off, applications. That's a tough game. So really grateful you guys are here. So thank you.
And hey, Chantel, real quick, if I can, I just ended the poll. Y'all, we have 46% of the folks that are here at 50 Strong for the very first time. Thank you. This is amazing. We want to thank the Wells Fargo team listen, we know that y'all come to talk to them. So with that, back to y'all.
All right, passing it over to the Wells Fargo team. Go for it.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for having us. And before we get any further, I want to thank everyone on the call for your service and taking your precious time and spending it with us to learn more about Wells Fargo. One thing that everyone on this call from Wells Fargo can tell you is that the way you prepare comes across so strong with the hiring managers that engage with our hiring programs with military connected talent. They're often asking us, did you guys prepare these people? And we're fortunately able to say, kind of, but we're doing it alongside really great partners like 50 Strong. So kudos to investing in yourselves at this time today. I'm Lauren Ramos. I am a business execution consultant on our military talent events and programs team. I have the privilege of being the program manager for our military spouse hiring initiative, the Homefront Heroes hiring program. As we go through our introductions today, we're going to move across 3 different teams that all sit under one great leader, Sean Passmore, that Candy was just referencing. So I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, John, who also sits on the Military Talent Events and Programs team. So John Axtell, I'm going to pass it over to you for an intro.
Awesome. Thank you, Lauren. So my name is John Axtell. I'm on the Military Talent Programs team. I'm a retired Marine. I've been here at Wells Fargo for 8 years this year. I'm currently located in Chandler, Arizona, and I manage our military apprenticeship program, which hopefully I'll get to talk to you all more about in the breakout rooms. So thank you, Lauren. And then I will turn it over to Marilyn, who is also on our military talent programs team, to discuss the VET program.
Hi, John. Thanks for that. Hi, my name is Marilyn Lester. I'm a business execution associate. I am also on the military talent events and programs team, and I work specifically with the VET program. So I've been here at Wells a little bit over a year, and I came on specifically to work this program. I'm also an Army vet and still an active member of the Army Reserve and I've been doing that for I'm not going to put a year, but it's been pretty much my whole adult life there. So welcome. We're excited to talk to you, and I look forward to speaking with you all in the breakout rooms too. And from there, I'm going to turn it over to Allie.
Thanks, Marilyn. Hi, everyone. I'm Allie Nelson, and I have the amazing privilege of leading our corporate fellowship program here at Wells Fargo. So this is our DoD Skill Bridge program here. I'm based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and a military spouse, although my spouse just recently retired from the Marine Corps, and we are loving life post-Marine Corps. I talk about it all the time. I think that I would miss the Marine Corps more if I didn't get to work on this team with so many amazing people supporting the military community every day. So I still feel like I'm in it in all things military life. And I'm just very, very happy to have been with Wells Fargo. I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary and relocated specifically to stay a part of this organization and to stay a part of this team. So I'm happy to chat later on. To those of you who are considering relocation, it is certainly something, I couldn't predict that I would be in Charlotte, North Carolina, working for a bank, but here I am. I'm loving it and excited to get to spend a little bit of time with you guys today. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Erin Miranda.
Thank you, Ellie. Well, I'm Aaron Miranda. I am an OIF Army veteran. I'm originally from Colón Esperanza, Chihuahua. So anybody from Chihuahua, hello. I'm also the military talent liaison here at Wells Fargo, and I've been on a stagecoach close to 3 years, but I've been in talent acquisitions and military transition services for over 18 years, from working in academia to owning and operating my own recruitment firm. Now, my primary responsibility at Wells Fargo is actually really, really simple, and it's amazing. It's to help veterans and military spouses find the right position with us through programs such as Allie's, or if not, direct placements. Moreover, I am the student veteran POC, point of contact. So if you have questions regarding our upcoming internships, come out to my breakout room to find out a little bit more. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. And we have one other colleague on the call today. So I'm going to ask David Whitley to introduce himself and share a little bit about what he does.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, teammates, MTSS. Thank you, team 50 Strong. I am David Whitley. I'm an Air Force veteran. I spent 21 years active duty service and retired in 2012. My post-military career started as being part of a veteran service organization. I was able to work with a VSO that was focused on employment. And over that time, we helped over 3,000 veterans and military spouses land corporate level employment. And after that, we helped about 300 companies launch and enhance their military hiring initiative until they closed their doors in 2021 due to the pandemic. Then I was able to come on to, which is no kidding, as Candy mentioned, the best team in the world. I had never seen an organization with 30 plus dedicated members to open doors, advocate, and prepare veterans at this level. So I was super excited to become part of it. I am a program manager for our veteran engagement and retention programs. I get a chance now to actually design programs that make people feel supported, engaged, and want to stay here at Wells Fargo. So this is the best of the best. I want to thank 50 Strong again for having the opportunity to be able to come here and support the best population in the world. So Lauren, back over to you. We may have one more intro, but just wanted to kick it to you.
I'm here. So I apologize, everybody. Hopefully you can't hear it. Of all the things to happen, I'm literally getting ready to present. And what do they do? A fire drill in the office. And so I'm literally hiding. I'm going to get in trouble. I didn't even go outside and check in. So don't listen to me. That was a very bad thing for me to do as a leader. But I hung out in a corner on my wireless headset to sneak back in today. So I'm here. We're going to see what happens in that. Um, my name is Missy. It's nice to meet everybody and to be a part of this. And Candy and Chantel, as always, it's nice to see you. I think I've been around and have been at several events with the both of you. For those who are here, my name is Missy. I also sit on the same team that Erin does, which is our sourcing team. I might get the privilege of saying that I have the longest tenure for the Wells Fargo team here. So I'm going to go ahead and hedge and say that I think I get to win that award today. I have been with the company almost 11 years. I have been in talent acquisition that entire time. I tell a lot of people I know more about recruiting at Wells Fargo than is probably healthy for me to know, but it's something that I love and do and have had the honor of doing. I'd also like to take this minute to just say thank you all for your service. To those of you that are on the call, my colleagues, Candy and Kevin, Chantal, I appreciate all that you have done. I don't have any direct military affiliation other than my deep desire and passion to support you all in this transition. I will get to be in the room just talking about Wells in general. So if you have questions and want to know kind of what we do, how do we support you, what are some cool ways to engage, what are some of the cool titles that we have, I look forward to talking with you in that space. So I appreciate it. Are we good? Lauren, did you guys get that okay? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Not
Nothing
missing,
like being
go
agile, right?
outside.
No, they just gave the all clear, so I'm good.
Y-
So I'm
You
gonna
all
say
can
that I
trust that we're on the backside going, we got you, we're covered down. We've got you.
Yeah. We're just glad it was a drill. We're just
yes,
glad it was
I
a drill.
I did say if I end up running out of the building with my hair on fire, then we'll know what's going on. So nothing like being agile in this space, right? All
Yes.
right, Lauren, am I ready to do the deck, or did you have something else you wanted to cover?
Just want to double check with Chantel that we're good to go ahead and transition over to our little presentation.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
All right, let me see if I can be smart enough to figure out how to share screen. All right. If one of my colleagues can be gracious enough to give me a thumbs up when you can see my screen. Let me swap. Are we good?
We're
Good to
good. We
go.
can see it. And really quick, did we call out that we cannot see the chat and I maybe missed it? I do want
We
to
did
call
in
out
the
that
chat.
okay,
Yep.
perfect. We're not ignoring you guys. We just can't see it.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and get started with some great info today. As if you've heard us all introduce ourselves, I do want to take a minute and, as Candy mentioned earlier, we do have a pretty big team, and here's I guess a slide to document and show that. We are a team of about 30 professionals that cover a wide variety of things, from our talent and programs team to our what we call staff team, that really is where David Whitley and his peers sit and really help with our overall operation, our events planning, getting information in line for that information, and our sourcing team where Aaron and I sit and support the attraction and sourcing. You'll see a lot of symbols on our slide, as we have lots of military professionals that have joined our team, but not all of us are. And you'll see we are run and headed by Mr. Sean Passmore. If you ever get a chance to catch out his LinkedIn profile, does some cool things. I think he was interviewed, Mr. Whitley can correct me on this, recently for helping give a car away at one of the PGA tours in Charlotte, right? He got to hand out a new vehicle, I think, which is pretty cool. So, all right. The next thing I do want to talk about, and I think this is really key, is where we talk about our hubs. And this is something that I do want to take a minute to really share and share with you all, which is we do have what we call a return to office, or a hub focused environment. And what this means is that the primary bulk of our positions are really going to be located in the areas that you see listed on here. So these are going to be anything that you may hear, you know, John or Allie talk about when you think about apprentice, or our corporate fellowship program, our boots to banking positions, the direct sourcing that Aaron kind of mentioned outside of our branch location. So anything that is not in a branch or financial center will typically be located in one of these locations. And that's because we do what we call a hybrid work environment. So as you heard me today, as I was joking about the fire alarm, I'm actually in the office today. We have some colleagues that may have chosen to work from home today, but it is a hybrid situation, and we will see that the bulk of our opportunities are presented in a way of being in a hybrid. Our one kind of caveat is going to be our military spouse program that Lauren will graciously cover a little bit later, and she'll have some details. So if you are a spouse, active duty, looking at options that may not be in these hubs, that's definitely somebody that you want to speak to a little bit later when we get to the breakout rooms. We do want to help understand why Wells Fargo. What is it that we have that kind of makes us stand out? And yes, it's the team of 30. Yes, it's these great programs. But we also have things that we do that really help to support who you are as a veteran or military connected talent. We go out and we train our recruiters on how to understand your experience. In fact, I do a call with many of them where we talk about how to translate and read a military resume, and what are the things that you need to look for from that perspective. We just did some number running, and we've got groups that are hiring over 100 veterans a month in their groups as they continue to look at positions. We have customized hiring programs that you're going to hear about. We also have internal resources like our employee resource groups. We have events that David helps to run, which is our show your colors and ways to help do a landing zone when you come to the company. So I talk a lot when I talk with peers that there's a lot of companies that are veteran friendly, and that's awesome. There's lots of companies that appreciate what you've done, that are engaged in helping you, and we want to celebrate all of those companies. What I think makes Wells Fargo unique is that we're veteran ready. So we are prepared to bring you in. We have structured support to do that. We understand the unique things that you bring forward. And I think that's a thing that I'm super proud of is we are veteran friendly, but we're also veteran ready. So I don't want to talk about where you could fit in. I know many people think of Wells as just a bank, and while that is key, it's not the only thing we do. In fact, you have a team of over 30 that sit in HR. And so these are things that we would want to talk about. And what we talk about is things like attitude, aptitude, and ability. So in some cases, it's going to be obvious things like cybersecurity, financial crimes, supply chain, for example, are going to be things that are going to make a ton of sense. But in most situations, we're actually looking for things like basic skills, interests, and aptitudes. We want you to look at your career within the military or spouses in your civilian experience and really think about what have you found fulfillment in? What is it that really makes you happy? Is it helping people find solutions? Is it driving processes? Is it tackling or analyzing data? All of those things can actually be found here, and it's important as you look at your experience. So for example, on this slide, you're going to see that we identify what we call frontline positions. These are roles that are good for those who want to interact with the public. These are typically our customer-facing positions that you're going to find in things like banking centers or financial institutions like our financial advisors. These are very customer-focused. These are very customer-facing and things that we would want to make sure you're aware of. So there are positions in our contact centers that may not be direct customer facing, but they are customer contact. Those are places where you're going to answer questions over the phone about potential fraudulent questions, opening or closing accounts, transferring money, etc. These customers are going to be regular everyday customers like you or I. They could be small business or even our high net worth clients like we have in our wealth management division. So as we go over the next few slides, you're going to see there's some crossover. That's because in many cases, you'll have a part of the business that has the frontline positions. So the banking centers, they'll have personal bankers or commercial bankers or small business bankers. And then you're going to have the operations of that behind the scenes. So both are going to have a front facing and a behind the scenes. We just want to be able to highlight them. And remember, the behind the scenes roles are the ones that are typically found in those locations that we brought up earlier today. So if you find it rewarding to develop and drive processes, if you find it rewarding, excuse me, to develop and look at the information that is happening, my screen is going crazy. I apologize, team. Okay, let's do it that way. Implement processes or do a deep dive into analytics to identify trends or look for bottlenecks. You can also actually find a lot of those different positions at Wells Fargo as well. Most of you know there's a four-letter word that we all love to use both in Wells Fargo and the military. And no, it's not a naughty one, so Candy doesn't have to worry about me saying it in front of her kids. It is risk. It's a big word, and it manifests itself in many, many ways. For us, it can include things like operational risk. Is a process consistent? Is it effective? Is it reliable? Things like market risk. Are the trends showing us information that we need to be mindful of? Is there a change in interest rates that's going to impact our ability to handle supporting the clients in our markets? Credit risk. Are those that are asking to borrow money, are the companies and individuals asking going to be able to pay us back? Reputational risk. Are people doing things that would damage our standing in the community? So you can see that in your area or background, identifying and mitigating risk in the military is absolutely a highly valued skill in our industry and something we would want you to think about as you consider positions within Wells Fargo. We're also all about process improvement. My colleagues will laugh and agree with this, that we're always trying to find ways to make a process new or better, and really strive for what we call operational excellence. So you're also going to see things like process engineers, business execution, project work, where we're going to look for things that have exposure to agile methodologies like Lean, Six Sigma, Agile, similar items. If you have that background, those are also skills we look for. those processes and products that need a lot of people to be successful. And in every line of business, you're going to see a position called a business execution. I will specifically talk about those in the breakout room that I'm going to be in. It is what you see many of my colleagues on the phone today having as their own title. And it's really for us what we think of as that holistic position that's really going to help in the overall running and keeping things moving in the right direction. So if you can manage things, if you have some product management, if you like to synthesize and make data visual, if you like to help implement processes, these are roles that you want to consider because every group has those and works through that. I do want to take a quick second to talk about two groups in particular that we think are also really important. One of those is technology. It is a huge part of our business. And in fact, we often have more technology employees than many tech companies do. I think the last time I looked at our site, we have over 30,000 technology employees. Our roles will run the entire spectrum from developers, cyber threat specialists, big data analytics, agile, and project managers. And then we also have positions within our wealth management. Remember, that's providing support to our high net worth individuals where those things happen behind the scenes as well in research and analytics. What are the products or services that are going to be beneficial for those individuals? Remember that these roles are the ones that are available in those select locations. The last group I want to bring forward before Aaron walks us through some great ways to engage with this is to really look at what we call our enterprise functions. This is kind of everybody else. This is what you might think of as the adjutant general branch in the Army. It's where you're going to find things like human resources, finance, audit, which is similar to the inspector general, legal, where you might think of judge advocate general, and additional information. This is where public affairs sits. All of those kind of behind the scenes operational roles are going to sit there. Typically, we're looking for specific related experience in these roles. For example, some of our team members in talent acquisition, like myself, was a recruiter, and Aaron, who happened to be a recruiter in the military. That's going to come in and play really well into this part of our business. Within audit, we also have teams who ensure that we're following government requirements and teams who are making sure that established processes are being performed in a consistent manner. So as you see, there's a wide variety of options that are going to cover a wide variety of areas. I would love to have Aaron take a minute to walk you through this really cool tool that we offer that we think will help as you're exploring options.
Thank you, Missy. Now, to focus a little bit more, let's talk about how to identify specific roles as you begin on matching your military experience to our various positions. We have set up a new tool that I think you'll find useful as you're trying to decide which positions to apply for. It's called Vedline, and it can be found if you go to www.wellsfargo.com/military. As you scroll down the page, you'll see Military Skills Translator. This isn't just a link to the ONET platform that you may have seen before. This takes you to this customized site. You'll fill out the questionnaire, and it'll offer you a list of position titles to look for when you're doing your job search. You'll also see a military spouse skills translator, which can be helpful for spouses as they work to develop a solid job search strategy. I'm sure that you have seen how companies have different titles for a similar position. This helps you know what to look for.
Great tips, Aaron. I am going to talk about our military programs. And if you all take these tips and apply them here into our programs, I think that you're going to find hopefully a really great fit for you. So we have 5 military focused programs here at Wells Fargo. So whether you are a veteran, active duty preparing to transition, or a military spouse, we hope that something appeals to you. I'm going to talk about our first program, if we transition to the next slide, which is our corporate fellowship program. And we're not supposed to have favorites, but since I manage this program, I'm a little bit partial to it. But our corporate fellowship program here at Wells Fargo is a DoD SkillBridge approved program. So its audience is targeting transitioning service members within their last 6 months of active duty service. And what's amazing about our program is through a partnership with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation, Hiring Our Heroes program is how we facilitate all of the ins and the outs. So Fellows interested or fellowship candidates interested in this program apply through Hiring Our Heroes, and they can do so via hiringourheroes.org. And they are looking to participate in one of our 3 cohorts that we host annually. And based on the way that our program is structured, timeline as far as transition is very important because we're only doing this 3 times a year, as you can see on this slide. So our first cohort of the year has already wrapped up. That was from January to March. Our second cohort of the year, which we call our spring cohort, is currently underway. They're a couple of weeks in. They wrap up mid-July. And then our fall cohort starts late August and ends mid-November. So I share this because I'm sure some of you are in search for, potentially a host company to participate in a SkillBridge program. So timeline is very, very important. We can talk more about that in the breakout rooms. But our program is very uniquely structured compared to a lot of other host companies out there. And I say this because we have it set up where it's a rotational learning experience. We're bringing in fellows in our core market locations. They're getting an opportunity to see our 15 different lines of business throughout the organization. You heard Missy talk a little bit about the different functional areas and opportunities. So as opposed to our fellows coming in and being aligned to a specific role, let's say as a process engineer or a project manager, they're getting a chance to see absolutely everything. And our intent is that, most of our fellows don't have any experience in the financial services industry. So we want to open their eyes to all of the opportunities here at the bank. We talked a little bit about technology a couple of minutes ago, and some of the technology partners that we work with wouldn't say that Wells Fargo is a bank. They would say we're a technology company. So, sometimes you don't know that until you're wading into the waters and being exposed to all of the things that we have to offer. So our fellows are going through this rotational learning experience. They get an opportunity to engage with all of these business leaders, learn about each section of the bank from a high level perspective. And then they're zeroing in on what roles and opportunities they're interested in. And they search and apply for those opportunities while they're getting to network internally within the bank. And our team is there to help coach them along the way. And we're helping them with professional development, resume tailoring, interview coaching, and also helping them explore where their interests lie as well, and supporting, mentoring, networking, all of those good things along the way. And we have about a 2/3 conversion rate of fellows that end up landing full-time roles at Wells Fargo. And the ones who don't end up landing a role by the end of the cohort, as long as they're interested in Wells Fargo, we're going to continue to help them no matter how long it takes, whether it takes weeks or months after the cohort. We're committed to helping them find an opportunity here or potentially at another organization. So there's a lot of opportunities here, as I mentioned, as you can see on the slide. I think most of our fellows end up being aligned to corporate risk just because coming from the military, risk is top of mind, and it's just something that we can relate to and have a lot of experience in. But we've certainly had fellows land in opportunities across the bank. I'll end with 2 things here, and I'll say that core market location is very important to us. So because we're a hybrid fellowship program, our fellows are coming into campus and they're also getting to experience in the program remotely. They have to be in one of our core market locations for the cohort. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in the breakout rooms. But if one of these core locations isn't on your radar or a location that you're looking at, a lot of people ask, well, can I do the program remotely? And then if I land a role, relocate to one of those locations? And the answer is no, because our program is set up hybrid. You've got to get that on-campus experience. The networking opportunities are just off the charts. You certainly have to be in one of these locations to participate in our program. So first stop, if you are not connected with Hiring Our Heroes and have applied through the corporate fellowship program with them, that's step number 1. But certainly networking and engaging with me and our corporate fellowship team and everyone else here can certainly help you set up for success, because the most important element in the entire corporate fellowship program is being able and willing and great at networking. So that's really the first stop. So I will stop there and we're going to transition to our next speaker, Marilyn Lester, to talk about our VET program. So Marilyn, over to you.
All right, thanks, Allie. So I want to talk a little bit about the Veteran Employment Transition, or the VET program. So this program is near and dear to my heart. I find it to be a really amazing program that we do here at Wells Fargo. So this program is an 8-week program. We do 2 cohorts a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And we're actually targeting experienced talent for these programs. So our veterans that come in to the program, they start as a program associate. They do 8 weeks with us. They're working directly with the hiring managers. They're networking with teams. They're getting hands-on on the job experience for that 8 weeks. And at the end of that 8 weeks, the majority of our vets will go on to be promoted into mid and senior level roles across the Wells Fargo enterprise. So we do 2 cohorts a year. Our spring cohort right now is in full swing. They are in week 4. Doing well, going strong. We are getting ready to launch our fall program coming up soon. So, and you'll see that QR code at the bottom there. You can scan that. It'll take you to our landing page, and you'll see some information sessions that we're doing on that program there. So, our program associates will have on-the-job training with their cohorts. They get professional development and some really great opportunities to network, not only with the teams that you're working with, but with other veterans just across the enterprise. It's a really special experience here. We typically have between 45 to 55 members each cohort. A lot of that depends on what the needs of the business are at the time. But I will say this is a very highly competitive program. In the spring, we had over 1,200 applicants for our program. So it's really neat to see just the level of talent that we get for this program coming through these jobs. So again, like I said, you can scan that QR code right there. It'll take you to our landing page, and there's 2 things you're going to see on there right now. One is a button to join our talent community. So when you join that talent community, you're going to receive direct email communications from us about the program, upcoming information sessions, the application window for our program, and then you're also going to see some links to join our information sessions. Then that way you can stay up to date on exactly what the application process is and our upcoming cohorts. So with that, and we'll be happy to talk to you in the breakout rooms here in just a minute.
Marilyn,
yeah, go ahead.
Marilyn, sorry, can I jump in just a second?
Sure.
Okay, so I want to also just offer a little bit of an outside perspective. We see a lot at 50 Strong and among conversations with veterans that are already separated, and we are seeing it here in the chat today too. Y'all, SkillBridge is for active duty folks, right? But companies that have made an intentional effort around their military hiring programs like Wells Fargo are always looking for really cool pathways that would apply to other groups. So this is one for those of you that are already separated. Please do not miss this program that the team is talking about. And please, if you have questions, make sure that you're talking to Marilyn directly in the breakout room with your questions. This is a really, really important pathway. And again, I just will brag on the Wells Fargo team. I don't see things like this at lots of other companies. So please, while you're here today, if you're already separated, do not miss this one.
Yeah, so please come by and talk to us in that breakout room. We'll be happy to answer any of your direct questions. And so from there, I'm going to turn it back over to Missy to talk about the Boots to Banking.
Thank you, Marilyn. So again, we all can't have favorites. I think all the programs are awesome, as Candy mentioned. We do have one that is specific for transitioning, but the rest of these are going to be for anybody who has military experience, whether it's 6 months, 6 years, 16 years down the road. This is one that I'm going to talk about that we call a little bit more of an initiative versus a program, meaning we help to bring individuals in high volume or class style groups, but they go right into the position, they do training with the business, and they're ready to go. So this is if we're seeing typically positions of the same kind of role with 5 or more opportunities. So we hire these a lot in our contact centers. Actually, the team doesn't know this. It literally hit my email inbox when I was pretending to be away on the fire drill. We are going to do one in our financial crimes division for the first time this year. So anybody who has background investigating things like financial crimes, this could be a great opportunity. And we're going to hire multiple individuals. So we bring them in a group or class style. We hire all of the same position, all at the same time. And this is a way that we really help the businesses ramp up or build out teams as a way that we do it. So this is a role that you may not see posted all the time because we post it as we get it. The cool thing about it is it typically means we have more than one opportunity. So if you happen to see Boots to Banking, that's something that you're going to want to look at. And we cover a variety of positions. So again, we'll talk a little bit more about this in the breakout room, but it's just another cool initiative like Candy had talked about, and another way that we're specifically helping you come into the organization, regardless of how long you've been separated from military.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Missy. And everybody always says you don't have favorites. I disagree. I completely have favorites, and this is my favorite. And it's my favorite, but what's great about it is even though it is my favorite, we always want to do what we can to find you the best opportunity that best fits you. And that's what's great about all our programs is there is one that might possibly fit you best. But with that being said, this is my favorite. And the reason why it's my favorite is because of Julie Scamahorn. Brief overview. Julie Scamahorn was the chief auditor here at Wells Fargo. She's a Marine. Unfortunately, she passed away while she was a team member here at Wells Fargo. But we had the great opportunity of naming this program after her and in her honor because she truly believed that what makes this program great is that it helps bridge the gap of experience for veterans that are transitioning out or may have already transitioned out that are looking for opportunities that they may not meet required qualifications or desired qualifications right off the bat. So this program helps do that. The apprenticeship program allows you to find a way through 12 different approved Department of Labor learning paths, which covers 50 plus roles here at Wells Fargo, to find an opportunity to get on the job training while being a full-time paid team member with the same benefits as a traditional team member and be molded into exactly what you would like to be, as well as what the line of business leader would like you to be in that role. So we bring you in, we educate you, we give that on the job training, we give you that job mentor, we give you a job coach that really helps you progress and learn over a 1 to 2 year program. And even in a 2-year program, if you come in and you just crush it right away, you can graduate as early as 1 year as well. So it's just a really great program. And if you'd like to hear more about it and really find out why it's my favorite one, you're more than welcome to come in. And I hope to see you in our breakout room so we can talk about the opportunities. And we can also kind of let you know that we have apprentice program positions that are going to be opening up within the next couple of days that you can go out, take a look at, and apply for, and hopefully be able to get to the next phase of. So thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you all in the breakout rooms.
John stealing my thunder from the hot jobs.
It's almost like we coordinated this presentation with some timelines of some open roles we had coming. Yeah, great timing to get everyone prepared. I am the last thing standing between you guys and the breakout rooms where you can ask your direct questions. So I'm going to do a really high level overview, but not miss just shouting out what we're doing from the rooftops for military spouses here at Wells Fargo, because it is truly unique. I am also not going to miss the opportunity to give credit to why we're able to do this is because of all the programs you've just heard about and how successful they've been and how across Wells Fargo, military connected talent is respected and reviewed. And so with that, we were able to launch this in 2022, this Homefront Heroes hiring program, which was designed to attract and directly hire spouses and domestic partners of actively serving military personnel. So trying to keep military spouses employed as they continue to PCS. I myself am a beneficiary of this program. I am currently an active duty spouse and on what is called a flexible work arrangement. So one of the very rare remote opportunities that Wells Fargo offers due to my spouse's active duty service. The expectation in this program for our spouses on these remote waivers is that when they're no longer actively serving families, that they, take a look at our core markets and consider relocating there. I'll explain all of this in greater detail in the room, but just understand this is not only an active duty spouse program. That's just the only place that flexible work arrangement is going to show up. We are hiring veteran spouses as well. And the hiring managers really don't care about the status. They're liking the talent regardless of active duty or veteran spouse. We are piloting with 5 lines of business, so a little bit different than my colleagues' programs. We are a little bit smaller in the parts of the business that we'll post roles in. They will be in consumer lending, consumer and small business banking, human resources, technology, and wealth and investment management. I am currently this week running an orientation. So those dates you see on the screen are actually orientation dates, not job posting dates. We're always on hiring year round. And my other chat screen going on is we're running orientation right now for the military spouses that we've hired in the last 90 days, which is like, it honestly gives me the chills every time I get to talk about it, because military spouses' lives are being changed. And in turn, service members' lives are being changed. I think we all know at this stage of the game, 2 incomes in the household feel a lot better than 1. And fulfillment from both sides in a relationship also feel very much better than somebody that's struggling to find their fit. So I will be happy to share more in our breakout rooms here shortly. But Candy, before we jump, I do have the slide up for the breakout rooms. Do we have a second to share a video of you and Sean?
I'm going to
Can
defer
we
to
share?
Chantel if we have time, and I'll defer to y'all. I just don't want to take time for your breakout rooms. I'm fine as long as y'all have time in your breakout rooms.
Yeah, we have like 50 minutes open for the breakout rooms right now, as is.
So do y'all want to explain what this is? It's kind of a sneak preview.
Absolutely.
David, I'm going to pass over to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. But this is a sneak preview of a video that we did through Hiring America to just talk about some of the amazing things we do with our partners, 50 Strong, as well as our overall passion for hiring veterans as a whole. It really does take teamwork in order to do this. And I think the video will really, really speak for itself. But you're the first time you're getting a sneak preview of what's going on. So I hope you enjoy it, and give me the thumbs up if you all can see my screen and hear the sound.
"50 Strong" is really about how do we share with military affiliated job seekers at scale about all the great things as strong employers like Wells Fargo. And so when we host virtual events, job seekers want to know, okay, well then what happens after that, right? So I know that the Wells Fargo military team is going to take excellent care of folks that they have engaged with from 50 Strong.
50 Strong really helps Wells Fargo extend our reach into this population of service members who are exiting military service and looking for companies with strong cultures. And we're going to invest in that community to make sure that that can thrive and be successful where they want, when they want, how they want.
This is an amazing company that has a dedicated military team that is focused on opening pathways, connecting with military talent, and advocating for them internally and externally. This makes our job really easy. Our job is really just to help that talent know about the Wells Fargo military talent team's efforts, connect them, and then we get out of the way and let them do their magic.
But that's why this works, because Candy and 50 Strong know our programs, they know our priorities, they know why we're hiring military talent and when, and how we're solving business problems. And so when she's talking to veterans and military spouses about that, and then she's advocating for our programs, it's a recognized and trusted brand of the military community.
So really, the beauty of 50 Strong is strong employers that have strong pathways that strong military talent can opt into.
Love it.
David, I hadn't even
Awesome.
seen that. I might have cried a little bit. That was awesome.
That is awesome. All right, everyone, I want to open the breakout rooms because we have like 45 minutes left and I want to make sure everyone has time to talk. So Breakout rooms are open now. If you don't know how to navigate into the breakout rooms, there's a button on the bottom of your screen that should say breakout rooms, or a button that says more, and you should be able to hover over the room. They're all labeled based off of the programs that you heard about earlier today, and you could move yourself in there. If you have issues moving yourself, go ahead and put it in the chat which room you want to move to, and we will definitely do that. For our employer representatives, if you could just make sure you stay in the room for the entirety, and we'll send 15-minute reminders to everyone in their breakout rooms in case they want to go to multiple rooms. Okay.
Easy day.
All right. And if no one's in your breakout room, just give it a second because everyone's moving. And just a reminder for everyone moving into breakout rooms, they still don't have chat function in there either. So you will not be ignored, but you could use raise a hand feature.
Stop recording.
And anybody that's still in the main room that needs help moving into a breakout room, there's only a few of us in here. You can totally come off mute. Julian, if you have a question, if you need help, let me know.
Hey, Chantel, thank you. Could you just help me get into the Veteran Employment Transition Program?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I am moving you right now. You'll get like a little pop-up.
Okay, thank you. All right, got it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Kendra, Lauren, Kwasi, do you need any help moving? No? Okay.
Okay. Hey, Chantel,
Mhm.
I'm gonna jump to go to this 8th grade promotion lunch at 1 o'clock. Can you make sure
I'm
that
doing it
Erin
right
takes
now.
care of this before I leave?
Yeah, I just did.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So again, if Chantel's entire internet and power goes out, that means the meeting is still live because we have a co-host that'll keep it live, right? Okay, good. All right. Thank you all. I appreciate it. I'm gonna drop.
Thanks, Candy. Tell Evie to say congrats, by the way.
Thank you so much.